Shockwaves are rippling across East Asia today as North Korea fires ballistic missiles just hours after the U.S. military captured Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro. The launches mark Pyongyang's first missile test in 2 months, sending projectiles into the sea between the Koreas and Japan. The move comes as South Korea's president, Jae-myung, begins a state visit to China, North Korea's closest ally. Experts say the missiles were a clear message to Beijing, signaling Pyongyang's objection to closer ties between China and South Korea. At the same time, analysts say the tests demonstrate North Korea's readiness to respond aggressively, contrasting its nuclear and military posture with Venezuela's current crisis. South Korea and Japan condemned the launches. Seoul convened an emergency security meeting, urging Pyongyang to halt provocative acts that violate United Nations Security Council resolutions.
North Korea launched at least 2 ballistic missiles toward the east from near its west coast between 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock this morning. As for the details, Japan, the US, and South Korea are currently working closely together to analyze the situation. But we estimate that the missiles fell outside Japan's exclusive economic zone in the Sea of Japan. In addition, there is a possibility that both ballistic missiles flew on irregular trajectories, and we are continuing to analyze this. The first missile was launched at around 7:54 a.m., reached a maximum altitude of about 50 kilometers, and flew approximately 900 kilometers. The second missile was launched at around 8:05 a.m., reached a maximum altitude of about 50 kilometers, and flew approximately 950 kilometers. Regarding this launch, our country lodged a stern protest and strongly condemned North Korea through the embassy route in Beijing. Whatever their intentions may be, North Korea's nuclear and missile development threatens the peace and stability of our country and the international community, and is absolutely unacceptable. The Ministry of Defense will continue to make every effort to gather information, analyze and conduct surveillance and monitoring of North Korea's military activities, working closely with the United States and other partners.
The missiles, launched around 7:50 a.m. local time, flew approximately 900 to 950 kilometers. Meanwhile, North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, has ordered a doubling of tactical guided weapons production, following multiple factory visits and oversight of missile tests ahead of the 9th Party Congress, which will outline major policy goals for the regime. South Korea hopes Beijing will help promote peace on the peninsula, as Jae-myung prepares to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping during his state visit. Analysts say the unusually short interval between meetings signals China's interest in boosting economic collaboration, even as relations with Japan remain tense over Taiwan. With tensions rising from Pyongyang to Washington, the Korean peninsula remains on high alert as missile tests, nuclear ambitions, and global geopolitics collide. North Korea has carried out another high-profile weapons drill, test-firing 2 strategic long-range cruise missiles in what it described as a demonstration of nuclear combat preparedness amid rising regional tensions. According to the state-run Korean Central News Agency, KCNA, the launches were conducted on Sunday over the Yellow Sea, west of the Korean peninsula, under the direct supervision of leader Kim Jong-un. The exercise was aimed at assessing the combat capability and counter-offensive readiness of long-range missile units as Pyongyang continues to warn against what it views as escalating military pressure from the United States and South Korea. KCNA reported that the cruise missiles remained airborne for more than 2 hours before accurately striking their designated targets at sea. State media released footage showing the missiles being launched and impacting targets, underscoring what officials described as the reliability and effectiveness of the weapons system. Kim Jong-un expressed great satisfaction with the results of the drill and reiterated his commitment to the unlimited and sustained development of North Korea's nuclear combat forces, according to the report. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff, JCS, confirmed the launches, saying it detected multiple cruise missiles fired at around 8 a.m. local time from the Sunan area near Pyongyang. The South Korean military said it remains on heightened alert and is closely coordinating with the United States to monitor developments and respond to any potential provocations. Pyongyang framed the missile test as a defensive measure. KCNA said Kim emphasized that verifying the reliability of the country's nuclear deterrent was a legitimate exercise of its right to self-defense and war deterrence, particularly in response to what North Korea considers growing external security threats. The comments were reported by Agence France-Presse, AFP, which noted that North Korea often portrays such weapons tests as reactions to joint U.S.-South Korea military activities. The timing of the launch comes shortly after North Korea revealed progress on what it claims will be its first nuclear-powered submarine. Last week, KCNA published images of Kim inspecting a large submarine under construction in an indoor facility, accompanied by senior officials and his daughter, Kim Joo-ae. Pyongyang has suggested the vessel could eventually be equipped with nuclear-capable missiles, a development that would significantly expand its maritime strike capabilities. North Korea's state media on Thursday released images of what it described as an 8,700-ton nuclear-powered strategic guided missile submarine, marking the first time Pyongyang has publicly revealed the vessel's size and what appears to be a completed hull since announcing its nuclear submarine ambitions in 2021. According to the Korean Central News Agency, KCNA, leader Kim Jong-un said the submarine would strengthen the country's ability to respond to what he called an increasingly hostile security environment. Kim condemned South Korea's parallel submarine plans, labeling them an offensive act that North Korea must counter. Seoul, meanwhile, has moved swiftly after receiving approval from U.S. President Donald Trump in October to pursue nuclear-powered submarines. A government-wide task force was launched last week, and South Korea's National Security Advisor, Wi Sung-lak, said discussions are underway for an agreement that would allow Washington to supply nuclear fuel for military use. This move Kim Jong-un described as an offensive act that violates North Korea's security and maritime sovereignty, according to KCNA. The push aligns with broader U.S. efforts to encourage allies to take greater responsibility for their own defense. South Korea has long sought nuclear submarines as a deterrent against North Korea's expanding nuclear arsenal, which in recent years has extended to sea-based platforms, including submarine-launched missiles and a claimed nuclear-capable torpedo.
The drill also takes place ahead of a ruling Workers' Party Congress expected early next year, the first in 5 years. Analysts say the meeting could signal new policy directions, including North Korea's stance toward the United States and the future of stalled nuclear negotiations.
While United Nations Security Council resolutions ban North Korea from testing ballistic missiles, cruise missile tests are not explicitly prohibited. However, security analysts caution that such weapons still pose a serious threat due to their precision and low-altitude flight profiles, which make them harder to detect and intercept. The latest launch underscores Pyongyang's continued efforts to expand its military leverage as it weighs the possibility of renewed talks with Washington following the collapse of negotiations in 2019 during U.S. President Donald Trump's first term.